When you have experienced the loss of a loved one, you can trust Carmichael Funeral Home to guide you through the arrangements necessary to create a meaningful ceremony that celebrates the unique life being honored. At Carmichael Funeral Homes in Smyrna and Marietta, our staff is committed to providing your family with the highest quality care and service in your time of need. In addition, we take pride in our responsibility to lighten your burden as you take the first steps toward healing. No matter what your choice, we believe in lives lived well. Please contact us with any questions regarding your pre-arrangement requests. At Carmichael Funeral Homes in Smyrna and Marietta, individual attention, providing support to the community, healing lives and grieving hearts, and celebrating lives well lived are our privilege to help. Contact us today or visit us online at carmichaelfuneralhomes.com. Celebrating memories you'll always cherish. Carmichael Funeral Homes.
And welcome once again to the Marietta Daily Journal podcast. Darren Sutherland here for a special brand new Friday edition, which starts this week. And the thing that we've got here, it's the most important thing that goes in Cobb County all year long from a sports fan's perspective. Friday night lights and Friday night football. And the Marietta Daily Journal sports editor, John Bednarowski, is here. He's the host of Friday Night Lights. John, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. So, you know what? You've been doing this, 13, 14 years. You've brought it now to Marietta Daily Journal podcast. What should fans expect this season from Friday Night Lights?
Well, it's going to be an interesting year. You know, we're coming off of a year where we had two state champions in Marietta and Harrison. And, you know, I don't know if we're going to be celebrating like we were last year. It seems like we're in the middle of a youth movement here in the county this year. Got a couple of teams that could sneak up on it. I like Allatoona. I like Kell, even though Kell is moving up into Class 6A this year. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to get to meet a lot of new players to watch over the next couple of years, and I think we're going to be poised to run for the Cup again next year.
No doubt, no doubt. And Cobb County football is always a fun time. We've had a long history, but last year was probably one of the biggest years in the history of Cobb County football, John. I'm 50 years old. I cannot remember a time where we had we'd have three state champions last year or two state champions?
Well, we had the two state champions, but we had three teams playing for it because we had an all Cobb County
right.
Class 6A final with Harrison and Allatoona. So, it's the nice thing about Cobb County is you're going to have quality football. Many of the coaches have been here for a long, long time. Their system is in place. They know what they've got to do. You know, one of the things that I always say about Allatoona, because, Gary Varner's been there since the school opened in 2008. And basically the coaching staff has stayed intact that entire time. So I always say if you're going to get Allatoona, you got to get them early because you're not going to get them late. And they usually prove me right.
And speaking of getting them early, don't they have a big game this weekend?
Well, that's the Cobb County game of the week this week. We've got a rematch of that state championship game right out of the blocks. Allatoona heading over to Harrison. Both coaches say that it's going to be a completely different game because, let's face it, everybody graduated large pieces of their team. What's going to be interesting, though, is Harrison graduated large numbers off of defense, and Allatoona graduated large numbers off of offense. So it's still going to be strength on strength when we're looking at it. So it's going to be a fun football game. But I'll tell you what, the Harrison's got a handful of seniors over there that are very confident, even though they're moving up into Class 7A. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Harrison, just from a personal standpoint, dynamite dozen player and wide receiver Jay Ziegler, who's going to Vanderbilt. I've got to pull for Harrison this year, but Altoon's got one of those dynamite dozens herself in the big offensive lineman headed to Ohio State that we read this week.
Well, yeah, Christian Bennett, tight end over there. He was sophomore last year. He caught about 12, 15 balls. But his biggest asset at 6'6", 235 is he understands what it means to put his hand in the dirt, or at least in this case, hand on the turf. He is one of the focal points as a lead blocker in Alatuna's running game. And, he told me this week after he announced he picked Ohio State over Tennessee, which some people thought was a little bit of an upset because his father was a defensive end at Tennessee, played for Johnny Majors.
Wow.
His mother was a two-time All-American cheerleader at Tennessee.
Okay.
So he was a legacy.
Yeah.
And it came down between Ohio State and Tennessee, and he went Buckeyes. So it's, he feels like the Big Ten is the conference that's most suited for his game. And he really, Ohio State rolled out the red carpet for him. They really wanted him, made him feel at home. And, he feels a little bit of a relief. Usually it's seniors that are like this where, okay, I got the recruiting thing off. I can just concentrate on my – he's got 16 months before he can sign. So, I would assume that he is going to enjoy a lot of life between now and then. And, he was on the field last December when Harrison took care of business down there, so he's looking for a little revenge this week too.
Well, if I was 6'6", 325, I think I would pick Ohio State over Tennessee too. I've been to that campus before, and it's just up and down hills all day long, just walking around the campus. But anyway, tell us about some other big games going on this week, John.
Well, other big games. What's interesting, one of the big games was one that came about in about the last 3 days, because initially Marietta wasn't going to have a season opener because of this COVID virus. Nothing that the Blue Devils did, but Colquitt County had to cancel because
the Packers,
their offensive and defensive lines were in quarantine. So Marietta was looking for a game. And then, lo and behold, on Tuesday, Wheeler's opponent, North Atlanta, I guess they had a couple of kids that came down with it. They had to go into quarantine. So now all of a sudden Wheeler needed an opponent, and it was kind of like a shotgun marriage where they got together, and Wheeler's going to come over to Marietta tonight. And what I like about this is Marietta is having their senior night tonight. I think a lot of schools are doing that right now, and I think it's smart because you just don't know how long the football season is going to last. So if you get one game at home, make the most of it. Recognize the seniors, and then if you get any more than that, count your blessings.
You and I talked about that a month ago in the MDJ podcast. Would there be a high school season or not? The state of Alabama, which you used to work in, has been playing for 2 weeks now, but they've had some game changes over there. I mean, Hoover had a couple of games moved away, and they had to go down to Phoenix City and play like that. So this season, you may see a schedule of a team to play, and all of a sudden, like Marietta, Colquitt County, North Atlanta, Wheeler, we may not see those teams even play. I mean, we know recently Westminster Lubbock got canceled. That's a huge rivalry in that world. It got canceled. So, heck, if Campbell's going to play South Cobb one week, South Cobb gets COVID, Campbell may play North Cobb. Who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be a weird year.
We had another situation like that happen, what was it, either yesterday or Wednesday, or it may have been Tuesday even. I'm not real sure. The days are kind of running together about now.
Yeah.
But Mount Parent Christian was supposed to go over to Lakeview Academy up in Gainesville to open their season. And I think Tuesday night they found out that wasn't going to be able to happen. Lakeview canceled the game. So they picked up – now they're going south to Brookwood – or Brookstone. Sorry. Down south. So
down in Columbus,
Yeah, so, I mean, that was put together in a matter of about 24, 48 hours, and, they managed to salvage something on the schedule. So,
have you had the opportunity